two-stopper. Degradation here tends to be quite low, the wear rate, and a lot of it's in a straight line.
Hello guys, I'm back.
Start grading up. If we
15 minutes later, we're back for the Italian Grand Prix Formula 1.
Particularly the front tyres. Then your wear rate goes
Turn that down a bit so I don't get straight.
Basically, and you're sliding around. The more you
So
slide,
we're back
the more you grain, the more you
for the
slide.
Italian Grand Prix Formula 1 at Monza. And Norris, can he win again in Formula 1 for his fourth pole of the season? They're getting ready on the grid. But after Marc Marquez winning, can Lando do it again? Hello guys, to the live F1 Watchalong for the Italian Grand Prix. We're back 15 minutes after the MotoGP. MotoGP was a good race despite the Alex Marquez and Bagnaia crash. Now we're here for Formula 1.
And McLaren have the pace again.
McLaren have pace.
Now, they're having to sit on the front of the grid for quite a long time.
They are.
And the problem they had last weekend is Zandvoort. They didn't get enough heat into their
Yeah, that's the problem with Zandvoort.
And a long
that's the problem
on
with last week.
The front row of the grid won't help that for McLaren.
Yeah, slotting into his place now, Max Verstappen. Joe Granu in the Sauber, making his way to the back of the grid really, really slowly. To be honest, probably needs to get a bit of a move on. So yeah, let's put some heat into those tyres.
Yeah, here we go though. The battle commences at Monza.
The 75th.
Can Ferrari win or can McLaren win? I'm running for Ferrari as well this weekend because obviously it's the home Grand Prix. Yeah, I've always liked Ferrari.
This is taking too long. They really need to talk in the driver's briefing about this.
Yeah.
It's too long for the back to line up.
Yeah, they will have a lot warmer tyres.
Here we go.
By the time the lights go out than those that have been sat.
Here we go. 5 red lights, the Italian Grand Prix.
In the heat of Monza.
Go.
Lights out and away we go. Piastri slightly quicker off the line.
Lando's got it.
Here comes George Russell though. Lando
Norris leads.
Piastri moves to the left to put pressure on George Russell into the
first Russell.
Russell looks up. Lando Norris leads from Oscar Piastri. The two Ferraris get slightly pitched. Russell is going to have to concede places.
Yeah, he will. That's 3-4 McLaren 1-2. Norris leads for Curva Grande. There goes Piastri.
Norris gave him the slipstream, and then they didn't squabble too much in the first chicane. They are in the
Piastri leads.
Squabbling, and Piastri takes the lead. The Italian Grand Prix, and Norris under pressure. And Charles
Leclerc goes second.
The first Lesmo. So once again, Lando Norris will not finish the opening lap of a race when starting on pole in the lead of that race.
Leclerc is second. The Piastri leads. Norris third.
Really put him on his back foot. I was just saying how smart they were down to the first chicane. They gave each other space, they gave each other a slipstream, and they were working as a pair.
Yeah, they were.
And then that happened.
Team orders? What team orders?
What team orders?
Mates going wheel to wheel. Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg.
That's Hulkenberg going off.
And he's been overtaken as well by Pierre Gasly. Down the back straight we go. Norris under
So far for Russell's front wing.
Teammate Carlos Sainz. He's down in third place, leading this race though as they cross the line to complete.
It's Oscar Piastri.
It is Oscar Piastri, half a second clear of Charles Leclerc. Dream start for him.
He was a little bit conflict. I mean, I got the penalty for that, so.
Max Verstappen complaining about an incident.
Stop complaining, Max. Get on with it.
Sergio Perez up to 7th. George Russell.
Russell's having a terrible start. Yeah, Russell's got damage on his front wing.
The Mercedes and Russell has front wing damage.
Yeah, I spotted that first.
Side of his front wing. DRS now enabled.
DRS enabled.
The first lap is over, but that really cost McLaren in terms
of
being able to control the front of this race. Now they've got to settle down and look after their tyres a little bit through this phase with heavy fuel load.
Yeah, they have to.
6/10 of a second, the difference between Piastri and Leclerc. You've got to be within a second to get that.
Yeah, Leclerc's going to go for it. Leclerc managed to lead this race.
The McLaren, you said it, Martin. Ferrari fancy their chances here this weekend.
They do.
They're in a very good spot with Charles Leclerc making up 2 places already in this race. Into the Ascari chicane we go now.
There's a bit of dirt there.
Goes Oscar Piastri. Someone's had a moment and he's kicked up.
Yeah, it was Hulkenberg, I'm guessing.
Hasses, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, it's Hulkenberg.
But yeah, luckily they're going to look out for some grip to cope with that.
Yeah,
a lot of grab
that's lucky for them.
And the Ferrari
Piastri still leads.
Wings, they think they're a little bit stronger in a straight line than those around them.
Yeah, let's see about that then.
To check out up front.
They got Hulkenberg down to 16th.
Hulkenberg down to 16th.
Alonso moves into that top 10 and
Alonso's 10th.
Points place currently. Let's see the speed of that Ferrari, not making
Yeah,
the
see
impression Charles Leclerc would have wanted on that particular occasion.
Yeah.
Probably needs to be within about half a second going through the parabolica.
A little damage. Dangerous. Copy that. So Perez trying to get Russell black.
Yeah. Piastri at the fastest lap.
Come in and change his car, but Russell then slotted back in the second.
Yeah, Russell did.
I think Red Bull will be pretty happy that they've ended up 6th and 8th at the end of the first lap in good position, track position as well.
Yeah, they should be.
Hard compound tyres.
Because we will be right there.
Could well be right.
About 7/10 of a second. Team orders, what team orders? They were racing.
They were racing, they were.
Take Lando Norris by surprise there. And what is that going to mean then for the rest of this race? Still Carlos Sainz putting pressure on Lando Norris.
Yeah.
There's George Russell.
Yeah,
There's
front
the
wing.
damage on that front wing. The end plate on the right-hand side has completely disappeared. And that's why Sergio Perez is saying it's dangerous. They should be calling him in and telling him to change that.
I'm not sure if they should call Russell in.
It's
done that 4 now. Obviously in that 5 seconds.
George's front tyres even more. The trouble for George is that's a 12-second pit stop at least when he comes in to put a new front wing on.
So Daniel Ricciardo
Norris at the fastest lap.
have been noted by race control and for causing a collision. Ricciardo on Hulkenberg hasn't been sent to the
Ricciardo on Hulkenberg.
Why Hulkenberg has dropped back, and we're on board with Sergio Perez.
On board with Checo.
Place now behind George Russell, who once again just dips a wheel on the dirt momentarily.
Yeah.
Gets up a puff of dust on that occasion. Ocon gets past Sonoda into the first corner. Ocon up to 14th in the Alpine, and still Charles Leclerc sticking.
Still Leclerc sticking with Piastri.
Oscar Piastri. He's not dropping back. He's not letting Piastri get away. And the race start then. We can look at once more. And it was all okay. And everything cordial at McLaren into the first corner.
Until the second chicane.
And Piastri then goes outside to protect that position.
That's happened to Russell.
What caught George Russell out was Piastri having to slow down a lot on the outside line.
Yeah.
So McLaren got it all covered at this point.
Yeah, they did.
I don't think Norris expected his teammate to pull that move.
Yeah, I think he did.
George, superstar. And this is where you get the formation play with the two McLaren slipstreaming.
Yeah.
Piastri will come over very quickly and then slows down.
Yeah, that's what happened.
George had to get so much brake on.
Yeah, Russell did.
To avoid the back of the McLaren and fed back in eventually.
Yeah.
He was third. I
Now
think
he's 7th.
if he'd have been able to duck in a bit harder, a bit earlier,
Should live action.
didn't need to give so much weight. Here we go. Piastri late on the brakes. Norris gets back off the brake pedal.
Yeah.
Nearly drops it in the middle of the
He nearly
chicane.
dropped it, Lando did.
That is where Leclerc comes through. And really, McLaren did not need that going on.
They had a collision on lap 24 last year. They almost had a collision on lap 1 this year. And that's where Charles Leclerc seizes his opportunist moment and squeezes through to take second place.
Leclerc squeezed through that.
I really felt I was driving that car.
Now,
Let's watch this. Hulkenberg and Ricciardo.
Nico Hulkenberg.
That's what
He was
happened.
the one that got on the dust. With Daniel Ricciardo on his left-hand side, that's been noted by race control.
Yeah,
Watch this from this angle.
Eric gave him a bit of a squeeze there. In fact, he gave him a lot of a squeeze.
That's where the
So,
dirt came from.
Hulkenberg could have been a lot worse for him. So,
Yeah, could
George
have been.
Russell, there's the damage on his car. That front wing end plate has gone. Bradley Lord is in the Mercedes garage.
Yeah.
Our man in the garage for us this weekend. Do you need to bring George in? How
Don't think they do.
Is he losing? What's the situation, Bradley?
He's lost a bit of aero balance, handling balance with that loss of the end plate. But
Yeah, he lost a bit of aero balance. I'm sure of that.
Just be pushing on and we'll look to make.
Norris at the DRS ran against Leclerc. Piastri leads still.
Do I remember that you have to demonstrate to the FIA you've got enough integrity in the rest of the
Leclerc
wing
at the fastest
that it's
lap.
safe at this point?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that the wing is
Yeah,
performing as it
pretty clear.
should, and George is running competitively. So
Yeah.
I think there's some mischievous radio messages going out there, but that's just all part of
Yeah,
the
it should be
game.
okay for
They're
that.
pretty wise to it as well.
Russell.
And
Hulkenberg,
presumably
Jay.
you'll change that at the pit stop, will you?
Not necessarily. It depends what the race picture looks like at that point, I think, Martin.
Yeah.
And talking of that race picture, Bradley, Rain, you're watching the radar, I'm sure. Are you all worried that we might get the need for intermediate tyres?
Oh, there's a chance of rain. I didn't know that.
Sort of very engineering phrase. They said there's a not zero chance. So there's these cells of thunderstorms popping up.
Oh, the problem with the Haas.
Circuit, but nothing yet close to it.
Trying to get a front wing off.
Think change our decision making.
Thanks ever so much, Bradley. Nico Hulkenberg has come in for a new front wing.
Let's watch this.
So we can see why. This time he's behind Yuki Tsunoda as
Let's
DRS goes for the move.
Goes for the move on the inside. That's why.
And then has a collision with Tsunoda.
That's why he's got.
Ricardo
He's coming for the front wing.
Hulkenberg now been noted for running into the side pod.
Yeah.
Yuki Tsunoda.
Hulkenberg's having trouble at the RBs today.
For Nico, that was kind of 100% guaranteed to happen because they were all going to turn into the corner. And as soon as you crank any steering lock in, it makes the front tyres want to lock up much more easily.
Right, Oscar Piastri, 0.8 of a second ahead of Charles Leclerc, leading on lap 7 of this Italian.
Piastri still leads, but Leclerc's got DRS obviously, so he gets closer.
Now about a second, just over a second behind Lando Norris. So
Lando's still third.
Not under threat necessarily with that DRS. Lewis Hamilton runs in 5th, then Max Verstappen, George Russell and Sergio Perez, Albon and Alonso just dropping back.
Yeah, Albon and Alonso.
Top 8, we can focus
9th
on
and 10th,
Sergio
best
Perez
at the rest they are.
way through the Curva Grande, and we can look at the battle between Alex Albon and Fernando Alonso too.
Is he ready for Oscar?
See grading on any cars yet. We think we need to get to at least Plan B target.
Plan B.
So
Plan B for Oscar Piastri.
Then, if they're not seeing grading, that means they can keep
Pulling a second on Leclerc now.
They don't want to leave a load of grip back in the pits when they make their pit stop.
They
They're
don't.
going to use that grip up while they're out there. But at the same time, you don't want to open up the surface.
On board with Gasly, 13th.
Tyres are performing better than anticipated. And you have to say the hard compound tyres on the Red Bulls look pretty handy too.
Yeah.
Corinne Shaddock's at Sky Race Control.
So everyone used tyres. Always. Yeah. Yes, I'm guessing it's used.
Sky Race Control, I promise you.
Hello, Crofty. Yes, sorry, I am at the Sky Race Control. Just listening into the radio there, the drivers are being told that the pace is quicker than they expected. On the Friday, they were on the 25,
He's actually gone quickest of anyone.
Obviously,
1:24.4.
but
Teammate Max.
24s. But at the moment, McLaren is happy with the pace that they're running at.
Verstappen being told, stay where you are, let them push the medium hard, and then this race might come to you in a little while.
Yeah, may do for Max. We'll see.
Just to back that up,
For a little
watching
maxi
the
pad.
pit wall, they didn't seem too fussed of which McLaren is in the lead. Lando might
Fox
feel
to retire the
differently,
car
but
for
the only
Tsunoda.
instruction to the drivers was don't make life hard for each other. In that regard, Crofty, it was a fairly clean pass. Lando might not have liked it, but it was a fairly clean pass, and they seem happy with Piastri in his position at the moment, as the drivers are clearly in some kind of tyre management phase. That's a hard
Time management there.
RB.
Yeah, it's
The garage. It looks like it is, as you say, enough damage picked up.
Yeah.
There,
they're retiring Tsunoda.
Clash with Hulkenberg to make Yuki Tsunoda our first race retirement.
After the Dutch
the
Grand
side
Prix
pod.
being the 4th this season to be completed without a single retirement. That's a season record, by the way.
Yeah.
We got our first retirement.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, just behind the side pods are a lot of radiators and all sorts of devices that clearly one of them has been damaged. So
one of them has been.
So that message to Verstappen and Perez was, look, don't chase them.
Let's just go try and break Vittoria.
To low 1 minute 24s. Let them do that on their medium. Let them go burn those medium tyres out. I don't know if they will or not, as Daniel Ricciardo takes a 5-second time penalty for squeezing Nico
5-second penalty for Ricciardo.
We're happy around 1 minute 25. Let them go and
On
do
board
that.
with
That's a great
Ocon.
decision.
Alpine Civil War back in
the
it again.
Alpine of Esteban Ocon. To his left was his teammate
Pierre Gasly.
Behind him is his teammate Pierre Gasly. The Alpine swapping places there.
Swapping places down at Alpine.
Into 13th place. Fernando Alonso sort of
Also
chasing
another car off the track for Ricciardo.
You can see him getting a little bit closer. Daniel Ricciardo has got DRS advantage behind Alonso. And Nico Hulkenberg, after being squeezed by Daniel Ricciardo, has now got a 10-second time penalty himself for running into the side of Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah. As I said, that was pretty much 100% guaranteed to happen.
Yeah, it was.
And,
Hulkenberg's got a penalty for
the
crossing with Tsunoda.
Dim view of that, had to give him the 10-second penalty. They can also give him a drive-through.
Yeah, 10-second actually for Hulkenberg.
Go, which is
So if retired, why won't it show up on the
seconds. So they've given him the second
F1 race thing, where it's all between drivers.
Yuki Tsunoda, just before he gets out of the car and takes his crash over,
Yeah, we go.
I'll say this in case you might hear it. His record at Monza is now did not start in 2021, finished 14th in 2022, Did not start in 2023.
No DNF here.
In 2024. I get the feeling he's not going to be the biggest fan of this racetrack.
No, I don't think so. No, there is.
Whenever it comes to it.
Yeah. And it's not their home circuit. That's it.
Similar on, so can't get past Alex Albon.
On board with Fernando Alonso making his way towards the first chicane. It's so hot, so dry here in northern Italy for quite
That's
some
wide
time.
for Ricciardo.
Every time you just go fractionally off the track, lots of dust, and it gets kicked up for the person behind you to run straight into.
We saw on board there with Fernando. He always has, especially at the start, a massive scan going on.
Yeah, he does. Lap 10.
Rate's enormous like that. Just scanning, making sure nobody's lunging in. And the man who used to be the ultimate lunger, of course, is right in his mirrors.
Yeah, Ricciardo is. He used to be the ultimate lunger as a locker for Ricciardo.
On that occasion from Daniel Ricciardo, going off the track.
Yeah, let's watch this again.
Locking up his tyres.
It's a big locker.
A bit. They're breaking into turn 1, 2. Ted, down to you.
Yeah, sometimes struggling breaking in turn 1.
Garage. We understand that the reason Gasly's dropping back is that he can feel something not quite right at the back of the car.
That's why Gasly's dropping back.
Wheel gun, so I don't know whether he's going to come in. Is this replay you need to do, Crofty?
No, it's live. And
Gasly's got a faster start.
Catching George Russell, and that damage to the front wing is really starting to hurt George Russell.
Yeah, it is for George. So as Thomas going to overtaking here.
Max Verstappen in 6 is about to have his teammate right behind him. There goes Perez.
There goes Checo.
It's 10 kilometers an hour, extra speed down the straight, which has
but Russell's fighting back here
by 100 meters. And Sergio Perez, very glad that the DRS zone has been lengthened because it was just enough for him to get past Russell.
Yeah, Russell
goes to Checo. That's happened. Well, Ricciardo and Magnussen and K-Max got ahead.
Magnussen making a move on Ricciardo. That was very nice indeed.
Very good.
We saw Ricciardo, didn't we, struggling on the previous lap across the runoff area, and that was sweet as you like from Kevin Magnussen.
It was.
But yeah, for George, he'll have more understood. The front will be sliding across the track.
Yeah, front will be sliding everywhere.
Tires earlier, and the car will be less efficient aerodynamically on one of the most critical circuits.
Ross has been out of the pit.
You've been told to come into the pits. You can carry on talking about Pierre Gasly first.
Gasly came in.
Pierre Gasly's been into the pits, changed tyres, and is out again. And just to flesh out the radio.
The radio.
And Oscar, do you have an opinion on Plan A versus Plan B? I think Plan A so far.
So stay on the one
Plan A.
Yeah, one stop. So if they can make it to lap 19, they'll be doing well.
Yeah,
right.
they will be.
This is Russell's. It's okay. This stop.
Lap 12.
Russell. Yes, it'll take another 10 seconds to change the front wing, but it's within the window to stay on a one stop here for George Russell. So bad, but not terrible.
They're not terrible for George.
Can make a one-stop work very well and can go for a long time with a set of hard tyres.
Yeah, can they?
He's going to eat more pizza
41
before the
laps.
race this time around than he did before Spa, so he's not going to be underweight come the end of it.
Yeah.
The tyre whisperer is going to have to do it again, but this time
he's going to do it again.
He is going to be losing place after place after place. Whilst he's in the pits for that much longer,
yeah, there he goes.
10.5.
So it's like
shelter from there, isn't it?
It's like
any decent
6.
Points.
No, it's 8 seconds slower. I just realised that.
Korean race control told me that he was told to recharge his battery. They like to
Ricciardo pitted as well.
Above a certain level. So that's given Piastri a 1.8 second lead, as you can see.
He comes out ahead of Gasly.
And Norris still in there. He's where he needs to be still. He's fine at the moment there.
I think with Lando Norris, and what we have seen on many occasions this season, is towards the end of a stint, before the pit stops, last 5 or 6 laps, the McLaren looks after its tyres. So
it does.
Lando knows when is the right time to start pushing.
Yeah, Lando then knows when it's time to start pushing.
And be patient until the time is right.
Well, let's hope so for him.
Yeah, let's hope.
Leclerc has agreed with Plan B in his car with the Ferrari.
Leclerc's gone Plan B.
So, of course, we don't know.
He may be a bit earlier before everyone else.
We change them around race to race so they don't give too much away over the radio.
Yeah.
What we do know is that Ferrari are hopeful after spending a lot of time, money and effort to bring a substantial upgrade package to Monza for their home race.
Yeah.
They're very hopeful that time and money and effort is going to be well spent and well worked.
Alonso's in.
That has a lot of potential here as Fernando Alonso makes his pit stop.
Yeah.
He gets onto the hard compound tyres and will try and go to the ends potentially on that. But 40 laps, it's a long way to go. Are we seeing some having to convert to a two-stop strategy here?
Yeah.
And he comes up just in front of George Russell, which was clearly the plan there.
Yeah, it was.
Martin. They desperately need some upgrades which give them clear performance now, don't they, Aston? Because they're running behind Alex Albon as he was. That makes them the fourth out of fourth fastest team with the Mercedes power unit.
Remember, so after Zandvoort, we are the seventh fastest car at the moment, and nobody seems to disagree with it too much at the team. On board with Lando Norris. How are those
I do think it's probably Aston the seventh quickest car in the grid right now.
And within touching distance here of Charles Leclerc. And when I say within touching distance, almost, he is now within that 1 second.
Yeah, he is.
He's got DRS as well. So he's starting to gain a little bit on Leclerc, who we know has been told to drop back. But even after a couple of laps from dropping back, Norris has slowly but surely caught up with a little bit more.
Yeah, 345 kilometers per hour, peak speed, engine singing away in 8th gear, wasn't it, when we were on board with Norris? And this is where he slid wide.
Wow, that was close for Lando.
Big old nibble out of the underfloor as well.
That will.
He's actually been reporting understeer on the team radio.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he has.
So that's what it is. You commit to second lesbian.
I'm not surprised he's reporting understeer after that.
The front axle just won't give you enough grip, but he's coming back at it.
He certainly is. He's got DRS.
He's got DRS again.
Towards the Ascari chicane. Kareem Chandler, what do you got for us?
Remember how many times this year we've heard the McLaren drivers saying free air is super important?
Yeah, it is.
This is helping Oscar Piastri. He's
It's helping Oscar Piastri.
The point properly, even on this last lap. He's got free air. Last time round, 9/10 quicker than Leclerc. Norris needs to clear Charles as quickly as he can if he wants to get in this fight for the win.
He certainly does. George Russell gets past Fernando.
Russell's ahead of Alonso.
Lando suggests we do box to overtake on Leclerc. Box to
overtake.
He's coming into the pits. Lando Norris making his pit stop. And I tell you what, he was in such an eager mood to get into the pits and slow down at the last possible second. He collided with the bollard.
I hope he did slow down enough as he crossed the line. Ted did.
Otherwise you have to push really hard.
A couple of turns of front wing.
2.2.
Lando not happy with the setup, with the balance of his car in that.
Lando not happy with the setup.
So they have made an adjustment at the front wing to help him out. Let's see how this undercut goes. Are Ferrari going to respond? No sign of any mechanics out there yet. It's quite early. It's a couple of laps probably, I'd suggest, for the one stop.
Lando's behind Ocon.
Yeah, it is a bit early. And also, he's come out right behind Esteban Ocon in the Alpine.
They should get ahead of him quickly.
2.2 second pit stop. He should get past Ocon through Curva Grande.
Yeah, he should.
And will hopefully clear the Alpine by the time they get to the next chicane. And does so. Otherwise, that could have been a wheel-to-wheel battle.
Yeah, Ocon wasn't very fighting that.
On a fresh set of tyres.
Yeah, of course. That's for position, so he doesn't get any blue flag assistance. But he's got
no blue flags.
Grip and speed to cover it anyway, and Ocon knows it's not his battle today.
So it's not Ocon's battle.
Charles Leclerc, but also on Oscar Piastri, who leads this race in a flip to what happened last year when Piastri got the undercut on Lando Norris and the two McLarens clashed on lap 24 down on the first chicane. And like you, Martin, I really hope he got down to 80 kilometres an hour.
Yeah, I hope he did as well. That was close for Lando. There's Matthew pad with Hamilton.
It just slewed sideways.
We've seen this before, but Hamilton comes in. Leclerc's in. Responding.
Lewis Hamilton to respond to what's going on. Verstappen and Perez on the hard compound tyres.
And the stop was 2.2, Leclerc's 2.5.
2.5 seconds for Leclerc. 3/10. McLaren will faster.
And Hamilton's stop is 2.3.
Sideways, Lewis Hamilton out of his pit box there. 2.3 seconds. Good stop for them. Lando Norris.
Good stop from both teams.
Down the main straight, as you can see. Norris behind Charles Leclerc.
Ahead.
Onto the track. Charles Leclerc behind Lando Norris.
It goes behind Lando.
The
undercut worked for McLaren.
And Lando Norris moves into 6th place, but crucially ahead of Charles Leclerc.
That's crucial for Lando and his Grand Prix. And Piastri's been told to pit.
To cover it off with Piastri as well, because the undercuts are very powerful with the fresh.
Yeah, it is powerful, Ambia and Monza, the undercut.
Will give Norris
the undercut's like you underestimate my power. That's what the undercut's like.
As well. He'll make his way. But I tell you what, I think Red Bull will be like, yeah, we thought so. They've had to get rid of those tyres earlier than they ideally wanted to because they were racing each other. McLaren and Ferrari were racing each other.
Yeah, they were.
So hard.
Yeah, this is a Red Bull without that straight line speed, but
Team for science.
It's going to struggle to go to
so who's he talking about? These guys. He's had to, I see those.
They're pulling to on.
Excited to say that we're going to stay out.
Piastri's in.
from the lead. Sainz takes over the lead.
Good stop back from McLaren. That's a great stop.
Making his way
Could be sub 2 seconds
now,
that.
as you can see, is Lando Norris. Alex Albon goes through and continues on his way. Piastri at 80 kilometers an hour, making his way out of the pit lane now.
There's Piastri.
Of his teammate,
He's still ahead.
Here comes Lando Norris with Alex Albon in between the two McLarens, but they're a lot
Albon
closer
in
than
between.
they were before Lando pitted.
Yeah,
it's Sam as they were.
McLaren's out front.
But the guy's not behind them.
What was that? Why do we pit if we undercut?
He thinks they should have stayed out because there was no chance that he was going to come out ahead of Lando Norris.
That's
so
what the bad things.
Yeah, so now he's lost track position to Norris, and he's got to go a long way on those tyres.
Yeah, he has.
So,
Otherwise, better have pull to a stop.
Kind of flipping around a bit from Zandvoort last week, where Charles Leclerc did a super first stint and second stint on that one, and well, his first stint curtailed here, and it's just put him on
DRS
the
at Albon's fifth Lando's moment.
Is under investigation, by the way, failing to serve a time penalty correctly. He might have to come into the pits again, or to serve another time penalty, or it gets added on to his race time at the end.
Yeah, all that.
So,
Ricardo.
Alex Albon still running medium tyres.
With the Hulkenberg.
With Lando Norris.
Nice Ricardo, I think.
Ahead of these two.
Because Hulkenberg got his point before he pitted, I'm guessing.
Have the two McLarens been pushing too hard? With Charles Leclerc as well, is the race falling into the hands a little bit of the two Red Bulls?
Oh, it could be.
And it's likely we will have to cover from the other car. It'll be for Pyrals.
Yeah. It'll have to be.
Cover for the other car, it'll be the fire rules. Team orders and a
Team
potential
orders.
second stop for McLaren, or team orders don't overtake it.
Yeah. Could be. Maybe it's in like a hungry manipulation game from McLaren.
What that means, I don't want to guess. So I'll say nothing. But
You remember what happened in Hungary, you know?
Higher rules, so team rules, and Ricardo gets another penalty.
Yeah, Ricardo does.
To serve the first penalty. Probably they clearly didn't wait 5 seconds before they touched the car.
Yeah. Like it was Hamilton, the window like a Lance Stroll.
Lewis Hamilton on Lance Stroll.
RPM fans will know.
To 8. Stroll hasn't pitted yet, which is why those two.
Now Hamilton's chasing Esteban Ocon, who is French, from 7th.
Pitted yet. Sainz, Verstappen, Perez, the top 3, also haven't pitted. Carlos Sainz on his 30th birthday for Ferrari.
Let's see what happened here.
Grand Prix, and this is what happened to Daniel Ricciardo.
Touched it.
Yeah, instant reaction from the mechanic. Just to touch the front wing to stop the car. You're not allowed to do that.
No.
Yeah, he knew.
And he knew.
Yeah.
He went to steady the car, and that was enough to get them 8.
There it was.
Fastest lap
For Piastri.
Oscar Piastri
Now Lando.
on these
Now
hard
Leclerc.
tyres, which seems to be performing pretty well so far. The difference, hard tyre, Verstappen to Piastri on that last lap, 1.4 seconds. Old hard to new hard.
So neither McLaren have got DRS now. Obviously, Piastri
Yeah, Piastri doesn't.
Norris is too far behind.
Norris is too far behind.
2.2 seconds. So they're dragging Leclerc
They're dragging Leclerc
into
on.
the picture with them.
Certainly are. This is turning into Max Hamilton. It is Hamilton.
It is.
We have practice for first, second, and third practice. You can see some race runs on a hard tyre. We haven't had that so far this weekend. The track is cooling. We've got from 54 degrees nearly to about 47 degrees now because the cloud cover is coming over.
The cloud cover.
The hard tyre and stop it overheating too much. No one really knows how long they're going to go for.
Yeah, no one knows that yet. Verstappen.
Suffering from understeer and taking him wider than he would have wanted.
So the Ferrari drivers have been told we're seeing graining on the Red Bull.
Yeah, they are.
You can see Perez is pretty close, isn't he, to this time?
Perez is pretty close. Sainz pits.
So after leading the Italian Grand Prix, he now makes his pit stop. Lap 20 of this race was
There goes Sainz.
Sainz was running the medium tyre. You'd imagine for a one-stop strategy, Carlos Sainz is pitting at exactly the right time.
Yeah, he is.
Out in 6th place, which is
come out behind Ocon.
4th.
Oh, I think ahead actually, not behind. Let's have a look.
The 3 that will be leading.
Yeah, he's just out ahead.
Red Bull pits, and Sainz comes out ahead of the Alpine of Esteban Ocon, and that is pretty
it was
crucial
close.
and also crucial that he's ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who's his
he
main
is.
challenger in this one. Ocon hasn't pitted yet. Verstappen has a
Helicopter
2.1
view.
second advantage over Sergio Perez.
There goes Hamilton.
Piastri is
That's too easy for him.
around about 10 seconds behind Max Verstappen and lapping about.
And obviously, Esteban Ocon's car.
on his hard tyres.
Remember there was French.
Just a few laps ago. So here's the battle for 6th place.
Might as well do some RPM jokes along now.
Hamilton, how long does it take to warm up those hard compound tyres? And has Lewis Hamilton got a slight advantage because his tyres are nicely warmed up because he's been running them for a couple of laps. We'll see. He's got DRS as well. That's Hamilton on the run towards the Ascari chicane.
Yeah.
Sainz's tyres 4 laps younger.
Sainz should not have an issue against Hamilton here.
Or some debris. And Ted has more news.
Ted has more news.
While you've been talking, I've had a further think about papaya rules and asked around at McLaren. It's
Two
not
seconds, Ted. So it's a message, not a verbal message.
Yeah.
Verstappen being told he can just go a little bit faster if you want.
Yeah, he can.
So the papaya rules are not only cut them open when they're nicely juicing, it is actually the rules of engagement between the two drivers. And like we saw in Hungary, do you remember when one had to give the place back to the other? So it's the rules of engagement, the fairness between the two drivers. And I think, unfortunately for Lando, what Will Joseph is saying there, Crofty, do you need to do this?
This is George Russell making his way from the back up to 9th place.
Yeah, good move from George.
I think what Will Joseph is saying is that I'm afraid we're going to have to do some things to protect Piastri's lead with the Ferraris. That's my interpretation.
That's what it could be for Lando. We'll have to see.
Exactly what that means. What
The McLaren lead
will be. But that's my interpretation that we're going to have to cover for the other car.
Piastri, who is the net leader really of this race when the two rebels pit, they'll take over the lead. An Australian starting second for McLaren at Monza. Last time that happened in 2021.
Down on Ricardo, we know what happened there.
To win the race.
Yeah, I would imagine Norris is seething about that second chicane incident. I think we've got that one covered, but
Magnussen and Gasly because of collision. Let's watch this.
And Pierre Gasly, Magnussen on the inside into the chicane.
It's Magnussen again.
Braking too late. Did he cause a collision? Racing control might pass that on to the stewards.
yeah, he was
Didn't know well.
when he arrived. He was in the right place. In terms
I
of
think it's just a racing incident.
Deserved some
With
space on the corner, but he wasn't under control.
Well, it could be
Yeah,
Magnussen's
there's
issue.
rules business. I wonder if anyone's told Lando Norris this. He just set the fastest lap of the race.
That has got
A bit
quickest.
on his teammate, Oscar Piastri. Maybe the fire rules there. He might want to sort that out himself.
Alonso's going to get ahead of Bottas here.
Hasn't pitted yet. He has Fernando Alonso behind him, but not for long.
Yeah, Bottas isn't really fighting that.
Makes his way past, twice a former winner.
Verstappen's been told to pit.
Valtteri Bottas, the podium sitter here, and up into 10th place. Box, Max Verstappen is being told.
So Maxifat's been told to come in.
His teammate Sergio Perez running 1 and 2 at this race. First time Sergio Perez has run in the top 2 here for quite some time. It has to be said. Since the early stages of the season.
Yeah, since then.
So they're fed up with those hard compound
They
tyres
are.
after just 22 laps on the Red Bull with full tanks of fuel. And it suggests they won't get to the end of the race, doesn't it?
Yeah, it suggests they won't do that.
1 laps on a set of mediums.
So even with the fuel burning down and putting less stress on the tyres, I wonder if we're going to.
Yeah.
This is an indication here, Martin. That
Piastri, fastest start.
I think we are heading for a 2-stop race, and Lando's been
There's a
on
problem.
saying as much, and that's probably why the two McLaren are pumping
6.2. That was a big problem on the pit stop for Max.
They might as well use all the grip up if they're going to stop again.
6.2 seconds.
Yeah, it's a rear right issue.
In his pit box.
Hard tyres again, so he's got to pit again.
Yeah, so that's a definite
Yeah.
2-stopper for Max as he comes out onto the racetrack.
Right behind
Esteban Ocon in
Ocon.
8th place.
And most of our history, we know what's going to happen between those two.
You are allowed to race Oscar papaya rules.
So that is papaya rules. Then you are allowed to race.
Allowed to race Piastri. Lando is.
Lando Norris was pushing to get closer to him, and why Oscar Piastri.
So Lando is now allowed to race Oscar Piastri.
They'll be right on to, presumably they'll pit Perez shortly as well at red.
Right
Yeah.
rear wouldn't come off.
Yeah, I knew that.
It took quite a few goes. That's why Max Verstappen lost 6 seconds. So Red Bull looking good in the early stages.
But no, because that mistake.
And a lot of their good work undone by losing 4 seconds at the pit stops.
And then normally the pit
Yeah,
stop
shake it ahead for Max
is
knows.
And that is why then when he came out, he wasn't very far ahead.
Yeah, it's frustrating, he is.
He had obviously a nose change on the pit stop.
Max Verstappen not been happy all weekend long.
Yeah, Lando at a faster start.
Sergio Perez.
They're dragging Leclerc along into that.
Piastri takes over the lead once again.
Again.
This race. He's 1.5 seconds.
Front left want to come off for a while, but better stops.
It's going to put Perez ahead of Verstappen.
You would think so.
I think it will.
Verstappen will get some DRS to help his pace down the main straight. Perez making his way out of the pit lane. Verstappen just passes
Verstappen's ahead.
Box down the main straights towards turn 1, and he is ahead of his teammate Sergio Perez.
Team radio.
So we do this. We just get on with it now, Max.
Get on with it.
So yeah, Verstappen and Perez, just a few car lengths between. What did that radio message be?
Just go flat out.
Just go flat out. That's what Red Bull really need to do here.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, Ocon ain't fighting that.
Yeah, you're right. Verstappen did stay ahead of Perez. I thought Verstappen's long pit stop might have made the difference there, but it didn't. And he stays ahead. But it's like, right, all the cunning plans early on and managing with tyres, forget all that. Just go for it.
Just go for it. That's what we want to see anyway. Correct here.
What do McLaren do now, Crofty? Because
what do McLaren do now?
Saying Plan B is where they're heading. They've been telling Lando about this. He says, "Yep, I confirm we should have Plan B," which we think is a two-stop. Do they allow Norris to undercut Piastri? Do they play the team?
Do they allow that? That's the question. Do McLaren allow Norris to undercut Oscar Piastri?
For the World Championship battle.
Magnussen again.
Good question, and I don't know the answers. Martin, as we see,
They're Gasly.
Who's had quite a race, it has to be said.
Yeah, quite a race for K-Mag. There's got a Gasly.
But we're starting to see a lot of marbles, discarded rubber.
Oscar Piastri at a faster start.
Right corner of your screen. That will come into play later on if we need to get some overtaking done. Offline looks like it could be even dirtier at that point.
Could be.
And Sergio Perez makes his way past Esteban
Perez ahead of
Ocon.
And Osama bin Russell's there too. So we've got Max Verstappen. Next to him is the disgraced Perez. Esteban Ocon, who is French, and he's car's French. And then we got Osama bin Russell. No offense taken to Ocon, it's all just banter. Like, welcome back, Mohawk. Jokes, that's why I like to use on these.
Just confirmation from McLaren. Team rules, what they are, papaya rules, clear rules as to
so Magnussen's got a 10-second penalty. That might seem to get banned for a race.
Agreed parameters. I wonder if that applied to the way they did on the first lap. I think it must have done because, as we said before, it was.
Piastri again with the fastest up at the race.
It certainly was. I'm sure there'll be plenty of debate about that between now and the next race in Baku, and I'm sure Nico Rosberg will have a few things to say about it after this.
Yeah, Rosberg, the first winner in Baku, of course, and the 2016 Italian Grand Prix winner.
Piastri leads 1.8 seconds. The gap between himself and Lando Norris. Charles Leclerc runs in third. So McLaren 1-2 currently. Lando Norris lost a place. The opening lap got it back by stopping earlier at the first round of pit stops. Carlos Sainz is a bit of a distant.
As much Magnussen here get past Bottas.
There was a 10-second time penalty for causing a collision. He's on the charge once again.
He's on the charge.
This time it's Valtteri Bottas with an easier overtake. Magnussen stopped already in this race. Bottas.
Yeah, if Magnussen doesn't stop again, then obviously add that to his elapsed time at the end of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, will.
So again, we saw him plough in, didn't he, with his front axle lock.
So everyone here is going for a two-stop except Ocon and Bottas.
Early on, Ocon actually was on the receiving end.
And boy, Piastri
was penalised.
It's not been straightforward. You feel a bit for Nico Hulkenberg. He's down a chance at the fringes of the points.
So he's coming in.
They can turn so
Bottas up again from Piastri. 1:23.1 this time.
Edge of the racetrack. They sort of turn it in now and take a shorter line and save a metre.
Yeah, there we go again.
As it stands in the championship at the moment,
halfway through this race.
We're in this race on 448 points. McLaren within this race on 448 points. McLaren currently have a fastest lap bonus. If they keep that fastest lap bonus, that will might just give them, I think, the championship lead by
it might just give them.
But a long way to go yet.
Because Fernando Sigma Alonso on Esteban Ocon, his former teammate.
Esteban Ocon
Not fight.
running his own race.
Not fight Matt with Esteban.
Watching a lot of other cars pass him by, but he'll get all that time back when they stop again, and he only stops. He's hoping.
Yeah, it's cost Red Bull quite dearly, hasn't it?
There's Ricardo.
The inside is Daniel Ricciardo into the first chicane.
That's beyond Danny Rick, that is.
Pierre Gasly still ahead of him. He's defending that by
Good defending from Gasly.
Ricciardo is going to carry this fight on a little bit. His teammate Yuki Tsunoda, the only retirements in this Grand Prix so far.
Ricciardo going side to side, like he's Clay Foy move on Vettel, but it doesn't work this time. And Gasly goes off.
Then locks up. Goes straight over the wall.
Give that place back.
Gives the place to Ricciardo, which was the sensible option there.
Piastri again with the fastest lap. He's flying, he is Oscar Piastri.
Which they look at more and more now. He kept position by running off the track. Fair enough.
So Ocon and Bottas, if anyone's pitted yet, we're halfway through this now. It's been less than 40 minutes.
And Verstappen and Perez are over
since this Watchalong started.
The two McLarens, which is painful for them. Mercedes haven't had the pace in this race I thought they would.
Mercedes really haven't had pace.
Looks better for them. And you'd have to say Ferrari have probably been a little bit.
Ricciardo putting Gasly under pressure.
Just on my calculations, with that fastest lap bonus, it does put Red Bull and McLaren level on points going into the next race in Baku. Red Bull will continue to lead the Constructors' Championship by virtue of having won more races this season.
Yeah, they will.
But given that they were, 115 points clear at one stage? A lot tighter than many were expecting.
Yeah.
But McLaren can't relax on that. Leclerc and Sainz are sitting there pretty.
They are.
For Ferrari, with pace. Sainz, of course.
And Norris to go 60 points behind Max in the championship.
19. Russell on lap 11.
And back is not a spring weekend, so
Norris 14.
Lano's chance to bring back to under 50 points.
10% of the race distance. Less use in his tyres at the moment. So keep an eye on him as to whether he thinks he can.
No, Leclerc. No, not Leclerc. Lando's one quickest.
Leclerc keeping the two McLarens very honest.
Yeah, Leclerc is.
29 out of 53 here. With all this pushing that's going on and a lack of tyre management, if the clock stops at under 1 hour, 14 minutes, 19.838 seconds, then the record for the fastest ever race will be broken. Monza has 18 of the 19 F1 races, the fastest races that have been held here. But we're looking for anything less than that 1 hour 14.9. I hope you don't stop.
1 hour 14.9 for the race. This could be the quickest F1 race of all time, this could.
14.9.
So 1 hour 14 minutes, 19.838 seconds.
When was that set?
Got it. Thank you very much. Remember that, everybody. Is this Valtteri Bottas, who's the only one apart from Esteban Ocon not to stop yet?
Wasn't last season, was it? No, it wasn't Monza last season.
Esteban Ocon and Valtteri Bottas.
It could have been set a spark because that's obviously 44 laps.
The award. And neither of them in yet, maybe sort of goal hanging for a safety car. But all of a sudden, Crofty, and towards what you're saying is this is a very quick race to happen very quickly, is that we're already on the next lap into the window for the second stops.
Yeah.
Comes around quickly,
sounding more exciting.
Well, but I'm not convinced that the
Piastri again with the fastest lap.
a second stop.
Not into the 122s yet, though. I think we'll do that. I think we'll get 122s on the next tyres.
Computers that will be going on the pit wall.
Gasly, Colapinto and Stroll.
Go and have a sit down with a glass of water. You're overheating, Ted. What we do know is that the Red Bulls do have to stop again. Starting on hards, running on hards currently, and then they've got the option. When do they stop again? Do they put the soft tyres on?
Yeah, what tyre do they put on?
Or the medium tyres?
They might get a fastest lap with that, but they've got George Russell sitting there as on the tag of Sergio Perez, having made his way.
And Russell could counter that.
Those being changed and front wing. So in terms of the Constructors' Championship, I'm thinking of there.
There's Danny Rick and there's Bottas.
For Franco Colapinto, we're riding on board at the moment. This might be the first overtake we see of this young Argentine, youngest driver on the grid, 21 years old and 97 days. He's got Pierre Gasly in his sights.
That looks pretty bad, Lando saying. Good move from Colapinto, his debut.
Franco Colapinto gets past Pierre Gasly. That makes a very nice overtake indeed to take 15 points.
Yeah. Clean enough. I enjoyed that. And I think his longest run was 8 laps in a Formula 1 car until the start of this race. So he's way beyond that, of course. Piastri now into the 1 minute 22 with the new
fastest start 122s now. Finally, we're into those. Thought it's going to be on the new tyres, but no. It's on the old tyres.
We know the ebb and flow a little bit with the batteries. Let's go to Karoon at Sky Race Control. Thanks, Martin. Let's just...
Norris starting to struggle. This is when Red Bull started to have training around lap 15 of the stint.
Yeah, just on that point, I'm just thinking back to Budapest, because think of the fact that on that occasion they used Norris to pick first to protect behind the car behind. Leclerc's getting closer, Crofty.
And George Russell is getting closer too on Sergio Perez, and they're going through wheel to wheel into the first chicane.
I think Norris made a mistake.
Russell comes out ahead, but he had to go off the track to do it, so he should let Sergio Perez past him, and is doing so. But they avoided contact. Perez now does get ahead of George Russell, and is he free to go for the overtake? Is he given enough of that advantage back again?
Perez is going back. Norris made a mistake.
Behind Perez through to the next chicane, and Lando Norris has just made a mistake on this lap, and as you can see, has shown
onto it
right behind him and ready to pounce.
Yeah, turn 4, he had an incident. That's the second chicane, and Norris then presumably went down the escape road. We're going to replay that.
Yeah, we will.
And that's really dropped him away from Piastri and put him in under a lot of pressure from Charles.
Yeah, if I was going to play pit, Lando.
To survive into turn 1 this time around, but this is a battle that McLaren probably did not need.
McLaren didn't need this.
At this stage of the race. Kareem Chandler, we go back to you at race control.
Yeah, Ferrari crowd going mad. That's the first stage.
Piastri, the reason he's been pushing is setting those fastest laps. He doesn't want to be undercut by Norris and be in that position where they have to do that swapping of the places. That's why he's been pushing to open the gap of over 3 seconds. And this mistake we're about to see cost Lando 1.7 to Piastri.
So, in the turn 4, should be nice and easy. But if you're struggling for grip, it is.
It's still going to be escape mode.
Yeah, he sensed the lockup was coming. And that is, Piastri's look faster anyway.
It's Russell and Perez again.
Must be said. And this is where we saw Russell and Perez. Perez didn't give him a whole lot of space there, but George Russell giving that place back.
What is he doing? Did you need a position and make you race me?
No, he didn't overtake you though, Sergio.
No, he didn't.
So it's not like he gained an advantage, a lasting advantage.
Yeah, I don't think Russell did anything wrong there.
Lando's in.
Norris is pitting. So after the mistake at turn 4,
McLaren decided to pit Lando.
Pit here, the second McLaren is pitting ahead of the lead McLaren, but there is a big difference in terms of time on track in between the two McLaren.
The mistake on that stop, 3.3.
A second slower than it was for Lando Norris at the first pit stop. He's going to come out here very, very level with Max Verstappen.
Yeah, Verstappen's ahead.
You just see on your screen there, disappearing in the turn 1. Norris comes out ahead of Sergio Perez. And
Norris ahead of Perez though, and Russell.
Going on.
Yeah, Verstappen out of position now, really. He's got to stop again because he's only used lots of hard compound. And once again, George Russell having an adventure or two down in the first chicane.
Yeah, Russell is.
But Norris then, really, that's released Piastri now.
That's released Oscar Piastri.
Work at will. And I think when Leclerc pits, that'll be challenging Norris again for track position. So Norris needs to use his tyres, get a couple of, at least one good outlap in there, and make up for the deficit of that poor stop.
Slow pit stop. Ted Kravitz was watching it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, can anything else go wrong for Lando Norris today? So the problem was the front right. It was actually slow coming off. All the other tyres had gone on. The front right then went on again, but the mechanic kind of wasn't sure and then gave it another...
Yeah.
Well, they need to find out. Because he's going to be vulnerable in the latter stages of this race.
Yeah, nice will be.
The mechanic went on for a second step just to make sure the front right was done up and lost the time.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see if Ferrari respond, and Mercedes are out in the pit lane as well. When will
the Mercedes are out in pit lane too?
Well,
waiting for Russell.
His tyres are okay. He'll carry on at victory at least.
It's Russell.
4 laps or so.
Just saw him. It's Osama.
In the background there, Hulkenberg had stopped. George Russell is pitting again. So that race with Checo.
So Osama bin Russell has come back in
for a while, but this might give Mercedes the undercut. Oh, I say that.
Another slow stop.
The undercut on
4.2.
Sergio Perez. He's lost at least a couple of seconds there, and that could be crucial.
Lost at least 2 seconds
on the Red Bull.
It's
on
odd,
the
isn't
Red
it?
Bull.
This time of the year, they're all so into racing, pit stops, and we've seen some difficult ones. You get a lot of heat in the axle, the wheel nuts,
Yeah,
the
they do.
wheel, and that sort of thing, which can be a challenge on this circuit, especially with such heavy braking. But we've seen an unusually high number of kind of ordinary pit stops.
Yeah, we have. Norris is pushing hard. His teammate Oscar Piastri is just on a 1:23.1. It was a tenth of a second clear of Charles Leclerc. The gap, 5.5 seconds between Piastri and Leclerc. We are on board at the moment with Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. He is right behind Franco Colapinto in the Williams. Behind Leclerc and a long way
Yeah, Russell's
behind
at the Colapinto.
the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. Here's George Russell.
Here's Osama bin Russell.
With Sergio Perez once again.
Got a wheel in the grass.
It's a second, but he dipped a tyre into the dust, and that might have prompted the call to bring him into the pits.
That might have prompted
He got a
that.
little bit wide on the way in, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
It's been a tough one for George, hasn't it? Especially down there.
Good move from
Kevin
K-Mag.
Magnussen, but in more overtakes in this race, Kevin Magnussen, than I think he has in the last 5 or 6
probably
races
not.
put together. That was Alex Albon at that time around. Magnussen currently running in 10th place.
Extraordinary how much of the gravel we could hear from Magnussen's car, wasn't it?
Yeah, we could hear from Magnussen's car.
To go off into the escape routes.
Right rear.
It was the nuts getting stuck.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
We said before in Mercedes, but not getting stuck
On that
by
right
not
rear.
coming out.
Sticky nuts or sticky wheel nuts.
That's a sub for Lando. He's catching on maxi pad.
You say, Martin, it is tremendously hot for a Formula One race, and we often
Yeah, it
get
is.
pit stop problems when it's hot.
You do. And it
Yeah, we
adds to
do.
The problem, as I say, in these heavy braking zones as well, it generates incredible temperature down the spindle and the wheel nut and the wheel.
So, Ted, let's head back down to you.
So you mentioned Alex Albon fighting with Kevin Magnussen. Albon's been reminded by his engineers that Magnussen has a 10-second penalty.
Since the
still to be
penalty,
served.
obviously, for K-Mag.
And Albon's saying, well, what do you want me to do?
Perez being told to pit.
Or to stay here. I could probably get onto Alonso in P8. Albon's been quite strong on the radio, Crofty.
Lando not on the
accusing
fastest
team of
lap, but he's
being
gaining.
indecisive once again. That's something we've heard before from
Perez
Albon,
in.
isn't it? But yeah, case of I used to be decisive, but now I'm not so sure at Williams.
Yeah, let's see the other side Red Bull go on.
Sergio Perez pitting. Doesn't surprise me.
Mediums.
Medium tyres going on. He had to make another pit stop. He's doing this, I think, to protect himself against George Russell.
He's doing it to
making
protect
his
himself.
way
As Alonso comes in too.
Now, as Perez at 80 kilometres an hour trundles down at the pit lane. We're watching Perez's teammate Max Verstappen as well. As Perez comes out onto the racetrack proper. Is he ahead of George Russell? He is. Only just ahead of George Russell.
Behind
you
Albon.
can't see at the moment, but is right there in close contention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of
I want to see
but
the
also your time
other.
loss on the
Yeah, but
turns
behind,
going down
but
the pit straight
behind
time
camera,
is
where it shows
so
the driver behind.
The top speed all the way past the pits is very high, and that's what makes it an extra.
There's Russell and
penalty,
Ricciardo.
really, for stop. It's what's ideally a one-stopper.
Ricciardo ain't fighting
had
that.
to stop early, had front wing damage after contact on the opening lap.
Yeah, basically
And that
ruined his
certainly
race.
forced him into a
There goes
two-stop
Lando and
race.
Max
But
Verstappen.
he's back right behind Sergio Perez. As you can see, the gap about a second at the moment. Perez on the medium tyre, Russell on the hard tyre.
Yeah.
Could that be a bit of a difference?
That could be a
Max
difference.
Verstappen is going to have to go onto the medium tyre too. And might that not
Or the
be
soft
the one
tyre.
you want to be on at the end of this race?
But it's possible to defend. You want me to race it? Yes, please, yeah.
Him
Wow, they
being
want him to race.
Lando Norris, who, as you can see, is gaining sector by sector.
So they want Lando to race. They want Max to race Lando.
Gap down to just under 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, that's an interesting call, isn't it?
Yeah, interesting call that.
How much of our race do you want to compromise fighting Lando? You'd imagine Lando should, if he gets the DRS down the pit straight,
Yeah.
he had to sail past.
Well, with Red Bull being the slowest in the speed traffic qualifying, you're absolutely
There's
right.
Perez.
Sergio Perez makes a move on Alex Albon into the first chicane. Albon once again gets out of the way. This time
There
George
goes Russell goes
gets
through.
past Alex Albon as well. And that's 2 laps in a row that Albon's been into the gravel. We've seen the car go past him, and he finds himself back down in 10th place now, and it's rather ruining his race currently.
Yeah, it is.
Lance Stroll into the pits for what is his
Lance Stroll into
second
pit
stop
lane.
in the race. And let's Look at the top four here, Martin. Lewis Hamilton gaining on Carlos Sainz here. We haven't really
Hamilton
talked
gaining
about
on
Hamilton
Sainz.
a lot in this race.
Oscar, do you think there's any chance we can one stop?
I don't think so. Front left is pretty dead. Understood.
And Hamilton pitting.
No DRS for Lando, I
just
don't
wonder
think.
if they fancy a chance of getting a Carlos Sainz in this race when Sainz has to stop again.
Yeah, Sainz does have to pit again, so
it's been
that'll give
a
Hamilton a
second
chance.
phase for Mercedes, there's no doubt about that. And Lewis is kind of there or thereabouts, isn't he? But
Yeah, he is.
at the moment, McLaren have enough pace to cover this off.
Yeah, McLaren don't have
And
pace to
they're
cover it off.
complaining now about left front tyre. Lando saying earlier on, I just don't know what I'm doing wrong because I'm upsetting my front left.
I think it's the lack of data. As here goes George Russell, and he's
Well, Perez defended.
forced onto the grass. There wasn't the car's width to try and get past. He does get past Sergio Perez.
He does.
Just about.
Just
hangs
about.
on to the edge of
Good
the
move
track
from George.
And does make the move. George Russell on the week.
That was naughty from Perez.
Pastry being told to pit.
$1 short.
And he's got that place back momentarily. He's got a front wing ahead of Russell. He's going to get the inside
Russell.
line, going into the next chicane, under braking.
Under braking, Russell gets it.
Mercedes past the Red Bull, but I'm not sure.
Piastri's in, Leclerc leads.
And that incident, as into the pits comes Oscar Piastri. Ted, to you.
Another slow stop. I think Piastri might have run over someone's foot. There was a little bit of a
Oh.
wobble as he squared up. He didn't lose too much time. Did we get a total time on it? It felt like about 2.8 seconds, 2.9. But he was certainly slow in. We'll get a replay in a bit.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. But here comes Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. And you can see how much slower that pit stop was by the distance between Piastri and Verstappen and Piastri and Norris. Verstappen's going to stop again.
Verstappen does have to pit again.
Slower stop has brought Lando Norris back into play, I think, here.
A little bit, although of course he's got Verstappen in the way at the moment, and therefore in the jersey air of the Red Bull and sliding around and probably hurting his tyres a little bit more. But again, will Sainz think he can get through?
Yeah, will Sainz think that?
He might be taking some pain in the final few laps.
At the moment, Carlos Sainz in second place, Charles Leclerc in first place.
Verstappen's going to DRS, Lando
has only
does.
pitted once, as has Carlos Sainz. Could Ferrari be going to the end?
Could Ferrari do
Everyone
it?
else has gone and committed to this strategy. Could they be about to spring the ultimate surprise? Let's have a look at this from the head on, Martin. Perez reacts late there.
George had already started the move.
Yeah,
so,
Checo reacted late.
That was a little bit scary. George did well to keep his foot in.
Yeah, Osama did well there.
Was compromised
Obviously,
through the
Osama
exit,
bin Russell as
so
well.
he came straight back
Call
out.
him.
It's all happening.
So Lando may get Max here.
Grand Prix, and it might be that Lando Norris is about to overtake Max Verstappen. Verstappen leading the championship. Norris is his nearest challenger. Norris wants to try and get past Verstappen. He's got DRS.
Going around the outside.
Pushes it the long way round, and that means that Lando Norris might just have to be content to sit behind the rear wing of that Red Bull for just a couple of corners more.
Yeah.
Try once again going into the next chicane. Through the curve,
Let's try again.
we go now. Speed increasing all the time. You can see the harvesting going on that Red Bull, but not so much that he can't defend. And Norris,
Yeah, Verstappen's racing Lando here.
to head into that second chicane, still behind the championship leader.
Yeah, he might well be there until the pit straight again, mind he. And we see Max charging his battery up, presumably for a good defence down the pit straight. And this is hurting Norris's race.
Yeah, it's hurting Lando's race.
He's got DRS once again, but it's because of the skinnier rear wings that they run here. You don't dump off so much drag.
Yeah,
in the
they
drag
don't.
reduction zones with the drag reduction system. It's only about 10 kilometers an hour, so you don't get that bigger harm, shall we say, to shove you forward that you get at places like Zandvoort last week.
Yeah, no DRS down this straight into Parabolica.
Yeah, I wish there was.
But he's
So you can send it in Parabolica.
This time of slipstreaming.
So going to be have it up by Lance Stroll. Piastri goes fastest. This will be Lando's moment.
Speed. This is Norris's chance. He should get this one done.
It's his time.
Yes,
He's going
Lando's
to have
chance.
to take it as Piastri sets a new fastest lap. Lando Norris pulls out from behind the Red Bull.
Verstappen's fighting this one.
Max Verstappen, who locks up into the bargain, trying to defend.
That was on the dust,
Norris
not a
then
lock-up.
Up into fourth.
Lando's up to
It's the
P4.
Ferraris that are leading 1-2. It's Piastri in third. Lando Norris currently fourth, but his teammate is in the box seat in terms of the McLaren battle. Are Ferrari trying to go to the end, and can they make it?
Can
to
they
the
do
end
it?
and make this a historic win for them? this weekend, because McLaren, by committing to a two-stop strategy, might still find that when the checker flag comes out, there's a couple of cars ahead of them here.
Yeah.
They're going to have to, if they do that, McLaren are going to have to overtake to win this race. They need
they are
a
going
race
to
now to undo that extra stop against the Ferrari.
Yeah, they're going to have to, McLaren. They're going to have to just go for it and push all the way.
Suddenly, it's starting to really come alive. Karun.
Yeah, Ferrari are, I think, going to go to the end.
Verstappen's been
And
told
McLaren
to
think so. That's why they were pushing Norris to get a move on and get past Verstappen. That's why Piastri's on a new fastest lap. As we see this replay, Crofty, fairly standard move.
Yeah.
But, so basically, state of play, 16 seconds between Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc, 11 laps to go. This is a great opportunity for Ferrari to take the win here.
16 seconds, 11 laps to go, 1.5 seconds. Piastri quicker than Charles Leclerc.
He keeps that, he could do it.
Last lap as Lance Stroll goes into the kitty litter, and Max Verstappen gets the fresh pair of medium boots onto his car, and he's going to come out behind Lewis Hamilton in 6th place.
They come out behind Perez, I think.
Rear gunner and Carlos Sainz sitting there in 2nd place as well, to try to arrest the progress of Piastri and maybe Norris too. So at the moment, then
he's ahead of
Ferrari appear to have
Russell and Perez
for a one-stopper, and they're commanding the race at this phase.
They are. That's George Russell making his move past Kevin Magnussen and up into 7th. 5 years ago today.
Yeah.
The Ferraris are going to try one. They think it's difficult, but they might as well try. So this is qualifying now. In the words of Stu, just drive fast.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well said, Stu, as they say. 5 years ago today, Belgium 2019, Charles Leclerc won for Ferrari.
Yeah.
He repeated that, didn't he? With a win at
Monza
in 2019 as well.
Yeah, I remember that race
Carlos
very well.
Sainz trying to become the 3rd driver ever to win on his birthday. 3rd driver driving for Ferrari on his birthday. They are currently the 1-2. Battle for seconds sees Oscar Piastri arriving on the scene with Carlos Sainz in a couple of laps.
Yeah, birthday boy Sainz got a great chance here to arrest the progress of the McLaren to help his teammate out. But I'm going to imagine the Ferrari be a little bit gripless in the final lap or two.
Yeah, it will be.
Charles Leclerc put his tyres on, 4 laps before Carlos Sainz as well. So you can imagine he'll start to struggle a bit more.
Yeah, he'll struggle a bit earlier.
Even though he's got the clean air in front of him a little bit sooner. As down the straight we go, Sergio Perez behind Kevin Magnussen. Perez in that 9th place. Magnussen looking in his mirrors to see where he is, but he's a bit too far back to make the overtake.
Yeah.
And while they go through the first chicane, and Oscar Piastri makes his way to the Ascari chicane, Ted Kravitz in the pit lane. What you got?
Well, I'm looking at one pit wall gantry, and that's the back of Fred Vasseur's head and everybody else on the Ferrari pit wall. Wow, if they can pull off this one stop,
if they can,
that would
this
be
unreal.
And the Tifosi are just twigging on as they was kind of saying, well, where is? There we go, it's a replay. No, that's the
tyres.
State of Charles Leclerc's tyres. If you like stripes, they're lovely.
Yeah, there's a few grains of rubber on there, aren't they, Crofty?
Yeah, they are.
I need you to explain again what tyre graining is. But the Tifosi are twigging when they didn't see a Ferrari stop. That's what they're going to try and do, and it's tyre death or Grand Prix glory for Ferrari.
Yeah, it's either tyre death or glory for the Scuderia.
I suppose after being publicly outed for getting undercut with Charles Leclerc earlier on with the McLarens, then they're thinking, well, why not try this?
Yeah, why not?
I love what Ferrari have done today, Martin. Whether it's glory or it's glorious failure at the last, they've done something different, and they have taken the race to McLaren. And they put down a challenge here. And this is going to be absolutely thrilling. And while this is going on, with Piastri hunting down Sainz, Verstappen is also hunting down Lewis Hamilton after making his pit stop.
Yeah, and at the moment with Hamilton 31 seconds behind Leclerc, Leclerc's got a free pit stop anyway. So that's what they're saying. They've got nothing to lose, have they? They can stretch it out and stay ahead of the McLarens. If Sainz can hold Piastri and Norris up for a while, they've got a chance, and if not, they lose nothing. They'll be 3rd and 4th anyway, providing they don't drop off a cliff of grip and they do something about it soon enough.
And if you look at the bigger picture in the Drivers' Championship, Lando Norris currently scoring 12 points, Max Verstappen scoring 8 points. There's only a 4-point difference in Lando's favour. That's how things have not worked out for him so far today. Oscar Piastri has DRS down the straight. So does Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, obviously lapping Gasly.
Was about to be lapped, but there's just a couple of car lengths between Ferrari and McLaren.
Yeah, Ferrari are trying it.
Well, he'll try and defend for as long as he can, because that could make the difference with laps running out.
Yeah, it could be.
His teammate winning or his teammate just falling at the final hurdle, and he keeps ahead of Piastri into the next
for now.
All the while, this is helping Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, smart Piastri there. He could have had a little bit of a look or a lunge.
Yeah, Piastri 8 times faster than Leclerc.
Just patience. He knows he'll get it done down the pit straight.
Or maybe down here, towards the Sky.
Complaining, but yeah, Sainz's tyres went on at like 19.
Here he goes.
15.
Oscar Piastri pulls out from behind the rear wing of the Ferrari.
There we go.
Sainz and moves into second place.
Now the charge is on.
A very important move. Did it under DRS, but he did it as soon as he possibly could. Now, on lap 45 of 53, and lapping round about a second a lap faster than Charles Leclerc, the race leader. He needs about half a second a lap more pace.
Yeah, he needs half a second lap more.
Anywhere near that Ferrari. And these tyres, Martin, once they get to the edge of their performance life, they drop off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
We've got an exciting end. If Leclerc sticks with this, we've got a very exciting end. Norris,
yeah, they do.
2.5 seconds behind Sainz as well. In the 1 minute 22s on that lap.
11.3 now.
Hamilton's charging along there as well. So that'll catch Ferrari's attention.
Yeah, well.
Because if they get too bold with it all, and they fail, Leclerc and Sainz will fall behind Hamilton.
Yeah, they will.
That's very true. The more Hamilton charges, that free pit stop that you were talking about, rather disappears.
Yeah.
What an end to the race we're going to get here.
What end to the race this is.
He's got the pace advantage over Carlos Sainz. He hasn't got the pace advantage over his teammate Oscar Piastri. There will be questions, I'm sure, in the debrief today as to what happens on the first lap with Piastri overtaking Norris and whether that was the right thing to do. And it probably was in terms of racing, both drivers being free to race, but after Hungary, it's more points that Lando's lost to his teammate.
Yeah, at the time, it wasn't the right thing for the team because I think they could have worked with each other and
they could have
got themselves a bit of breathing space. Absolutely the right thing for
47.
Piastri. But I think on balance so far, you have to say Piastri's been the faster package anyway through this Grand Prix.
He has the clean air that he had by leading the race for so long, really helped the pace as well. Carlos Sainz's pace is absolutely dropping off here.
Yeah, it is.
Lando Norris has a little look.
10.5 the gap. Can Piastri do it? Or will Leclerc hang on for his historic win at Monza?
Behind the Ferrari. Now, he's got much better traction coming out of that chicane. And he's got much better traction going through the Curva Grande.
Yeah, Lando does.
As I'm told, it should be pronounced. Has he got enough on the brake?
Which is Italian for big effing corner.
The team will have told him.
Yeah, RPM fans know where I got it from.
Brake balance +1.
Leave me alone with this. If I got to fix us, don't ask them.
Good one, Charles. I'm a bit like the same, I am.
McLaren will have told Norris that
he's got a bit of Viking personality there. 9.7 now.
To do it.
Well, he's a little bit further back than Oscar Piastri, and he's not going to do it on this occasion.
He's not going to do it there.
He's not. No DRS down the next straight either. So maybe Sainz was having learned his lesson first time. Got a bit smarter with his battery in defence.
Here he comes. No DRS, but he's getting the slipstream. Is Norris, and he's going to stick as close as he can.
9.1 the gap.
Through the parabolic grid. That looks like he's close enough now.
Yeah, he's close enough now, Lando is.
And it being 100 metres longer to mount the challenge down.
Yeah, here we go.
Straight. There goes Lando.
There goes Lando.
That's the easy move
in the third
that he was hoping for maybe a lap ago. But he is up now into third.
He is now.
And this is
it's game on now.
Norris in that championship challenge, because now it's 15 points for him today and it's 8 points for Max Verstappen. So it's a 7-point swing. We come down to a 63-point lead going to Baku. As it stands at the moment, make that 64 points because Verstappen obviously has the fastest lap in this race.
But having to wait to get past Sainz to put Norris 4.5 seconds adrift of Piastri.
This is that move on Lando Norris.
Yeah, good move this. I mean, obviously it's easy with DRS.
Just going to ask
And with Leclerc in
signs
own bad tyres.
Norris fans that will be asking this question. If Charles Leclerc in the last couple of laps looks like he's going to hold on and win this race, should McLaren, for Norris's Drivers' Championship challenge,
So McLaren, that's under throw.
let your teammate by? Because it's another 3 points, isn't it?
Yeah.
Strictly speaking, they should, but I don't think they're minded to do that. The tyres are looking a little bit nasty. Look at you can see the duller patch on his right front. It's a bit of a passenger, that right front, in many of these corners.
Yeah, it is. So right front.
He is now 11.9 ahead of Norris and 8 ahead of Piastri. But crucially, Hamilton is getting very close to Leclerc's pit stop window.
Can people in the background please stay awake? I know this is a position, but it's important.
Yeah, but Tifosi loved it.
Copy that, Max.
I wonder if Max is a bit concerned about George Russell behind him as well.
Yeah.
Russell's got a little bit more pace. I'm not sure he's 15 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton, but Russell is reducing that gap. I know it's 4.5 seconds.
Yeah.
But it is important.
Yeah, actually, they're getting a 10th now through the corners.
Every point is precious.
He's starting to see his World Championship lead ebbing away a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
And there, great shot of Oscar Piastri, who's driven a very fine race. Can he now take the victory? Ted, what have you got for us?
Squares, that message from Verstappen.
It's 4 laps left here.
Please stay awake. I want to keep my position. Squares with what Russell's being told on his team radio. Can you hear? Can you hear that, Martin?
Yeah.
Do you know we can hear that on your microphone?
Every time Leclerc, now you know what I'm saying, the Tifosi have tweaked what's going on with the death and glory Leclerc's pit stop strategy. Every time Leclerc comes by, they're thinking they can make a chance. The Tifosi want Leclerc, they're powering him on to try and keep this tyre alive. Can tyres here, Crofty?
No, definitely can.
Tifosi scream.
Only if you whisper.
Yeah, come on. Well, he is going to have to whisper them, but they're trying to the Tifosi are trying to scream Charles Leclerc to victory. But Russell has been told by his engineer on the last lap or two, he thinks they can get past Verstappen.
Yeah.
And this is a bit like George Russell did in Spa, isn't it? Sort of a counter strategy.
Yeah, counter strat.
Suddenly,
that's Arthur Leclerc. Leclerc's brother.
Arthur's also a race driver, of course. And Piastri only took half a second out of him on the previous tour. Piastri in a little bit of traffic.
Yeah.
Now he's got clear air.
Charles Leclerc goes through the Ascari chicane. Oscar Piastri halfway down the straight, going under the banking as Leclerc makes his exit.
Yeah, Leclerc's going to do it.
Starting
give the gap.
Ferrari fancied their chances here today.
They Piastri gets 2.5 each lap.
Counter strategy to the two McLarens, and it is working very, very well from at the moment. And don't
Gap's
forget,
10 points between McLaren and Red Bull.
And so they should be, because they'll only be 40 points behind Red Bull come the end of this race. Red Bull on to the
less than 7 seconds now.
As it stands. And the Tifosi are ready for the biggest garden party at the Royal Gardens and the Royal Parks at Monza have had in quite some time.
Piastri's not making enough pace. This is 7 seconds to go. You've got 3 laps, including this one, which means he needs again 2 seconds a lap, doesn't he?
Yeah.
To catch Leclerc, let alone pass him.
Yeah.
That's a tall order.
The big upgrade package that came here to Monza. Why do you spend all that time and effort to bring a big upgrade package to Monza? Well, you do it if you're Ferrari.
Yeah, you do it if you're Scooter.
It is absolutely everything for the Tifosi and the team that is the de facto national Italian team in Formula One. And we're here on lap 51, and there's just over 6 seconds between Leclerc, Ferrari, and the Tifosi's celebration for victory. Norris is not making the impression on his teammate. He's going to have to settle for third place as it stands here currently. Carlos Sainz down in fourth. Lewis Hamilton comfortable in fifth, ahead of Max Verstappen, who is watching George Russell, because Russell's now just over 3 seconds behind him. That gap has come down once again.
2 laps to go now.
A day that was going to be all about McLaren and a potential 1-2. They've been usurped a little bit by Ferrari here,
they have.
But we're not at the finish yet, are we? That's the difference between Piastri and Lando Norris. You can easily see his teammate down
Piastri and Norris.
Yeah, 1.1 seconds faster Piastri. He needs at least 2 per lap. And that's not doable. I don't think that's doable.
It's not doable.
Unless
Stroll's
Leclerc
coming in.
absolutely runs out of grip in the next few miles. He's got it covered.
Leave me alone.
Leclerc has.
I know what I'm doing is what Kimi Räikkönen once said.
Yeah.
We kind of have the Charles Leclerc version.
Yeah, the Leclerc version of leave me alone, I know what I'm doing.
He does know what he's doing here. However,
Yeah, Stroll's going to
his
be fastest lap.
are starting to go, and we are still a lap and a half away from the checkered flag.
Yeah.
It's not over until it's over. But he is the
Yeah,
race
Russell said
leader
that in Austria.
and on course. Ferrari to be the third different constructor to win in the last 3 races, and none of those are called Red Bull. That is how this season has transformed and come alive.
My goodness, what a podium. This is going to be the best podium in the world as well.
Yeah.
To boot, Ferrari leads into the final lap.
Here we go.
Here in Monza. Wow, tremendous.
He's going to come down the main straight now with a lap to go. Let's have a listen to the roar.
Yeah. Del Piero.
You can hear that on the world feed and on the effects microphone, because we can not only hear it in the commentary box, we can feel it in the commentary box. 3.5 miles to go for Charles Leclerc.
3.5 miles for Leclerc.
What it's like to win for Ferrari at Monza, and he's about to do it for the second
He is.
time.
So Piastri took 1.8 out of him on the previous lap, and that means he'll be
3.7 the gap is.
near him at the end. But all Leclerc needs to do is exactly the same thing again. He's got a 3.8-second lead. Piastri can.
Yeah, Leclerc's doing the exact same thing again.
He will not catch that up.
Elsewhere, Fernando Alonso chasing Alex Albon for the final points place. It's not going to go his way. I don't think Kevin Magnussen holding on to ninth currently. George Russell 2.5 seconds behind Max Verstappen, but that is just the race
going to do it
for the minor points. And Magnussen, sorry, don't forget, has got a 10-second penalty to come. That's the minor points placings. Let's go to the front here.
Yeah, there they are.
Victory celebrations now. Charles Leclerc tasted victory in Monaco
5 years ago. Ever since he won a Monza, he could do it again. If it's Overlander's one of my favourite drivers, I'm happy for Leclerc. I am.
It's a royal performance.
It is.
King Charles around here. Charles Leclerc wins the Italian Grand Prix, and Ferrari
Leclerc's done it.
have triumphed on their home tarmac.
Lando got the fastest lap.
To take second for McLaren. Lando Norris for the second week running takes the fastest lap on the final lap, and that's another point. And a pressure
Leclerc's done it.
In third place, Carlos Sainz will come home to
Not going to lie, I'm happy for Leclerc. I'm not going to lie about that.
Max Verstappen, the championship leader. Red Bull didn't have the pace today. He could only finish 6th.
Yeah.
Hamilton did a 21.5 on the last lap, but that was usurped by Lando Norris, as you say, with a critical world championship.
For once, Ferrari pulled a good strategy. That's what I'm going to say.
Pulled this one out of the bag.
For once, Ferrari do it.
They've beaten, I should say, the faster pair of cars.
Yeah.
About it, because
Stroll didn't get a fastest lap.
Lap 15, he put those tyres on.
Yeah.
And 38 laps ago, and then absolutely stroked them to the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
And a formation finish there for Ferrari. It's 1 and 4 for them.
Yeah, but Leclerc takes it.
1 and 4, 2 and 3 for McLaren. Hamilton beats Verstappen.
Yeah, but Tifosi love that.
Come mi fai sognare, come mi fai sognare.
Leclerc loves that. What a win for Leclerc.
Mamma mia. Questa stagione però è da
I'm there, guys. I'm not going to lie, even though Lando's one of my favourite on the grid, or my second favourite or favourite, I'm happy for Charles. I genuinely am. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for the F1 Live Watchalong, and that'll be it for Watchalongs this weekend. Next weekend, we're back with MotoGP Live Watchalongs at the San Marino Grand Prix in Misano. And then F1's back. 2 weeks of Baku. So, guys, thanks all for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe if anyone is new. It's Turfy if you signed in, and tell the notification when there's any future videos. So that stream's coming up, and obviously, there's no need to subscribe. You don't have to. But just saying, subscribe if you know. Emo is totally your choice. Anyway, guys, catch you all next time. See you all next time. I hope you have an amazing day.
Martin, and questioning why they stopped